you are deciding who is going to become an owner in your office and who isn't. Not to empower you guys with this God complex, but you're the one holding the cards, right? And you're the one dealing out and you know the aces, the kings, the queens, and you're asking them to all play cards, but you're the one controlling the funnel of recruiting. Now, you're not always right, but you know the ace is much different than the jokers, right? So I am stacking the deck of the person that I want to become an owner. I have predestined somebody into ownership, and I'm stacking the deck. And many times, and this might be too risky for the rookie owners, but at some point in time, I challenge you guys to do this. I would run a morning meeting, and I would say, hey guys, I just want to talk about the politics of the business here for a second. Anybody think the business is political? And nobody raises their hand, right? Come on, guys. Do you think there's politics in the business? And again, everybody's sort of shell-shocked. And I'm like, well, I just want you to know there is politics in the business. Has anybody noticed that I'm stacking Bob's deck with sharp recruits? And they all start giggling because they're like, yeah, we all talk about this on our lunch break, but we didn't think you'd want to bring it out, out in the open in a morning meeting. And I'm like, well, I'm just telling you right now, I am stacking Bob's deck. Does anybody know why? What are the behaviors of Bob that make me want to come through for? Now, is Bob a blood relative of mine? No. Do Bob and I see eye to eye with, like, I'm a Lakers fan, he's a Celtics fan. Like, we kind of butt heads on certain things, but why am I stacking his deck? And it's an opportunity for me to broadcast to the crew the behaviors I'm looking for in an owner. And ideally, I get people that step up in the morning meeting that start acting like Bob, and now the pressure's on me to bring in more aces. If I got to spend more money and I got to hire more recruiters and I got to spend more money on Indeed, hey, no worries. I'll bring in more aces. But what I don't want is people just kind of standing around doing sales, seeing what's going on in the business and not verbalizing something to me. I want somebody coming up to me to say, hey, Jamie, stack my deck. Help me out here, man. You're in charge of the recruiting. I want you to stack my deck like Bob. I'm like, I've been waiting for you to come to me and ask me that kind of question. Thank you. Now I got another owner on my team. Instead of it being behind closed doors, I'm bringing it out in the open in a morning meeting saying, I am stacking Bob's deck because Bob is at every team night. I don't see him missing team night. Bob's sick the other day and he still comes to work. I had to send his butt home. He didn't call in sick. I sent him home because he was sick. Bob's always on standards. I mean, just promote all the behaviors that you're looking for so people can be like, well, I've got, out of the 8 things Jamie said, I do 6 of those things really well, but those other 2 things, I got to take a good look in the mirror and maybe I got to do a little bit more of that. Or if I can't be a larger participant in team nights, maybe I can go up to Jamie and say, listen, I can't, my wife is studying, I got to be home with Junior at that time. And so again, some good dialogue could come from that. It's maturity. It's a mature way to run the business. It's interesting how we use the bell as the example in our business. I mean, I think it's taken from back in the old days, okay, back to the old biblical days of shepherds, right? So you're a shepherd and you've got 100 sheep. The best behaved sheep, you put a bell around its neck to draw attention. So all the other sheep follow the one sheep that has the best behavior, okay? So all I want to do is draw attention to my best people in the business, hoping that everybody else follows suit. I'm the shepherd and I got to find the best sheep. Say, hey, for what it's worth, okay, my number 1 is so-and-so, and here's why. Now, I'm not saying that to get you guys to compete. Listen, I'm stacking so-and-so's deck. I mean, it's obvious, and you guys do the same thing. Listen, if I have 5 number 1s, and I'm like, then the pressure is on me to bring in 5 interviews a day. I know that's a lot, and I hate to put that kind of pressure on myself, but I mean, that's the reality. Listen, if the demands of the business are that high, that kind of pressure on me, I like that pressure. I like it. If I have studs in my business that are performing, me as the owner, I have to step up. I was just in an office this week in Dallas, and Jake, who's running he went from 2 reps to 32 reps, and I'm like, I wanted to see what his secret sauce was and what he's doing. He got a $40,000 wire. He's a rookie owner. He's only been I think he's been an owner less than a year. I don't think he's in this room, is he? Jake Gafford, but he's got 9 second interviews a day. 45 a week. So he's got 9 shots on goal here, right? So it's like, okay, so he is feeding his people. Nobody's complaining about a lack of recruits. But if any of the guys are, hey, I'm doing the things you told me to do. You told me to be like Bob, I'm being like Bob, where's my interview? And you're not providing, then That's pressure on you. And you have to get up in front of your people and apologize to them for not coming through on your end of the deal. They're doing their end of the deal. You got to do your end of the deal. We have these same convos with our clients. Hey, we did what you told us to do. We want a commission increase. We want more money for the field. And Rich, it keeps getting more and more money for us. So it's like they're stepping up to the plate. So we do our part, you do your part. That's the symbiotic relationship you have with your guys. But I'm not afraid to put that bell on the best sheep and just draw a ton of attention to it. Again, risky, if you guys try and you flop, I don't want you blaming me for it. It just means you didn't have enough savviness in how you said it, so work on it, try it again. Eventually you'll get it right. But that's how you run the business. You guys, John Wiggins predestined Benny Madrid as a consultant. He didn't recruit Benny to not be a consultant, so of course he stacked his deck. Is it unfair that John only went to Benny's office every single week? Well, how come he's not going to all the other offices? This is so unfair. I love this quote. There is nothing more unequal than the equal treatment of unequals. There is nothing more unequal than the equal treatment of unequals. You do not treat Michael Jordan the same as you treat Dennis Rodman. Those are two different animals in the jungle, and they deserve to be treated much differently. There's nothing more unequal. I know it's kind of a tongue twister, right? There's nothing more unequal than the equal treatment of unequals. So it's an equal opportunity, yes, but I don't treat everybody the same.